This is a unique story, and why it's so unique is boxing on the club level is a story of exploitation. Yet our feature today rose above. So let the people know who you are.
I'm Katsuma Akitsugi, 8-0, undefeated fighter.
What makes him so notable are his wins. He beat 2012 Olympian, although he didn't compete in the 2012 Olympics, Eros Correa. Arnold Denong, he trains with Bruno Escalante and Mike Basil, and lately he beat Rasheem Brown. These are all viewed as top-level prospects, and essentially he was coming in the wrong corner as a B-side against the promotion's fighters and won each and every time.
But all my fights less than 1 month notice.
His motivation as a fighter is spiritual. He wants to be like his heroes, Manny Pacquiao, Vasyl Lomachenko, and truly test himself against the best.
Because fighting like this fighter, only my name go up fastest.
Here's his coach.
Actually, my name is Eduardo Hernandez. But everybody knows me as Eddie, so I'm a boxing trainer. Been doing boxing for about 15, 20 years. Yeah, he's a really hard worker, and he really likes to fight. He enjoys it. When you're in this boxing, I always tell to myself, small window. So you gotta take risks, right? You gotta be able to. If you got good skills, why not take the hard fights? I mean, a lot of times he's been just an opponent. Most of the time, even for this past fight, he was an opponent. So he's beating these guys. So he's always, willing to fight. He's never had to go to somewhere else, like fight guys that don't have good records. He's always fought guys that have good records, especially at the beginning of his career. We fought 250 fighters, and then a guy that was 0-1, I think, in Vegas. But he had a lot of experience on kickboxing, but doesn't mean anything.
So my second fight has 1 day notice. My first fight 3 weeks notice, or like couple weeks notice. So I'm always training, ready. So I don't need to get ready.
We hear the word privilege a lot. And in boxing, you can think about privilege a ton. A lot of fighters can't get fights if they don't have a promoter. A lot of fighters who are great fighters, if they don't sell tickets, don't get opportunities. There are privileges in boxing that other sports don't deal with because the sport is just as much a business as it is a sport. What's interesting about this story is there's been no privilege afforded to this fighter. He was a 9-fight amateur that many people, I think, in the industry saw him as an opponent, and yet he keeps winning, and now he's a bona fide prospect. Everything he's gotten, he's earned. So how did you end up in the LA area?
I wanted to become a professional boxer here. Then chase my dream, and then I just got here. I didn't know anything. I didn't decide the gym. I didn't know wildcard too. I didn't know anything. I just picked the house. That's it. I just came. I know English.
How did you find your coach?
He trained at the wildcard.
Right. So this is what happened back in 2019 or 18, maybe, or 17, maybe. Must be 17, yeah. I was training with the guy, Lukie. His name is Ritaro. He's Japanese. He's an older man. He likes to spar a lot.
The Japanese guy was there. And he could translate for me. Yeah, so I told Japanese guy I'm looking for the coach, and he introduced me coach.
So he introduced me to Katsuma. And Katsuma back then he didn't speak English that well. Now he could speak a little bit better. And he asked me, hey, can you train him? I go, yeah, go ahead. I'll go ahead and train him. Oh, well, we had about nine amateur fights. He had a lot of experience already. He's been training since he was 9 years old. So I could see that he know how to box. He just needed to learn more how to sit on his punches, not be too nice of a guy in the ring. So it was not that difficult to actually train him. He just likes to work really, really hard, and learning is one of the things that he really, really likes. So,
how is it coaching someone with a language barrier?
Well, I can't understand because English is my second language. So it is something I have to learn too. So, if we couldn't understand how to say hook, I would ask him, how do you say hook in Japanese? Okay. How do you say one or two? Then I learned how to say those things already. So I don't think it's difficult to learn especially training somebody boxing, because it's general and boxing is something that's boxing is something that's practiced everywhere, and just by showing somebody throw a jab, picking up your mitts with the left hand, or if you're right-handed, so you pick up with left hand, you pick up with the right hand, so you already know what to throw. And as you train somebody, you already kind of know each other. We've been training for 5 years, so. Because, as a trainer, everybody knows that you make more money with clients than with fighters.
Well, I think not everyone listening to this podcast, but everyone in the industry knows you actually make more money training regular civilians than you do trying to be a pro fight coach, because there's very few fighters that make a ton of money, and there's a lot of people that want to have great abs and look great for the weekend.
Yes. That doesn't mean you're gonna start not paying attention to the fight. Of course. When I train my fighters, I would spend a lot of time with them. Always, because this is very important. When I'm training one-on-one a client, then I'm taking my time. I don't train nobody else. When I train someone, just him. So, or Andre, or the fighter I'm training. So you just gotta take your time, not just wander off and start looking at your phone or whatever you're doing. Be focused, be there. Like a relationship, you know what I'm saying?
No, I'll give you an example. So, I remember I was once in the gym and someone's sparring, and the fighter looked back at their coach, and their coach was on a cell phone, and he went to look at the coach to be like, what did you think? And the coach was on their phone, and I felt like that coach-fighter relationship was broken at that moment, because he wanted to get a critique or he wanted thoughts on that, and the coach wasn't present at that moment. The fighter needed them. Right.
And one of the things I always tell my fighters, it's like when I'm here with you in the ring, you're sparring, nothing else exists for me but you. My focus is on you, your safety. You doing well. If you're not doing well, then I will have to stop the fight. Because that's my responsibility as a trainer. I have to let my ego aside and think about their safety and how well they're performing, or if they're not, then I have to.
This past weekend, Katsuma defeated his third undefeated fighter that was a prospect in Rasheem Brown, as I mentioned before. He took the fight, as we stated in the story, on 2.5 weeks' notice. To keep up to date with this story, follow the social media we've included in the show notes for this episode, as this is an ongoing story of an LA fighter who's emerging and very interesting to follow in the year 2022.